Thank you, Manjeet. Hi everyone. I'm Piali. I'm the founder of Tech for Social Good, and we started. So initially, when we started, it was a service organization where we were doing a lot of automations using Zoho with nonprofits. But now we have a sister venture called Appo, where we have some business automation tools, including one HRMS platform, PeopleHub. But before we started the Appo or PeopleHub as a venture, I have worked with nonprofit space for around 12 years, and I have also done many HRMS implementation with different nonprofits. So I have done this as an employee of an organization, and then we have Appo and PeopleHub. So now I'm going to take you all through the demo of the platform. It will be a live demo. And because in the interest of time, I will try to cover as much as possible in 20-25 minutes. And at the end, we will also have a Q&A session, okay? So let me share my screen and get started. Just 1 second. Okay. My screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So now I'm logging in with the demo account that we have. Once you log in, you will be landing to the dashboard, and everything that you see on this platform, including the name PeopleHub, the branding here on the corner of the screen and all of that, this is all customizable from the application itself without contacting the developer or us at all. So just letting everyone know that all the branding elements are customized as per the organization's need. Now, for the demo purpose, the flow that I'm going to take is from recruitment. I'll move towards employee records, leave and attendance, performance, and stuff like that, because again, an employee journey starts with recruitment and onboarding. So I'll start from there and I'll touch base on each of the features that we have in short, just in order to stay within the time limit. So first thing first, let us talk about the recruitment portal that we have. So first of all, in the recruit option in the HRMS, we'll have the option to post jobs. Now you can see there are 2 jobs open. There can be n number of jobs you can add. You put the job details, category, the JD, the salary, and all of that. And as soon as you publish the job and make it open, the career site of this application will have the job listed. So here is the career site. Just the way you saw the PeopleHub HRMS home page, and the entire platform is customizable with the NGO's branding, this job page as well, the career site is also completely customizable from the platform itself without contacting the developer. Now, when you post a job, obviously it will come under the jobs, right, in the platform. Now, whenever the job has been closed, one can just make it close and it will disappear from the job site. And then you don't have to touch your website at all. So in a lot of sense, like including us, what we do in our website, the career page doesn't go take to another page. It literally opens the PeopleHub career site so that all the jobs that we have are listed. And every time we want to post a job, we don't have to go and edit the website. We can do it on the HRMS itself. Once the job is posted, as you can already guess, maybe that one can apply for the job. Everything that on the happens when they apply, including all the questions that they're filling, what details that they're doing, everything. This particular form can also be customized. So the job being posted, people are applying, and when the application comes, it comes on the job applications and all the job applications. So in the demo side, I have 4 job applications. And for each of the job application, you get to see all of the stages that they are. Initially, it will be on the applied stage, and later you can put it on any stages, and you can all, including hire or rejected. The moment your HR is changing the status from one state to another, including hire and rejected, there's an automatic email trigger that goes to the candidate, which looks something like this, where it says, like, if you're rejecting someone, it will say your job has been rejected for the product manager role. Unfortunately, this time you didn't fit the. And this is a very generic email that goes and saying the person that you have been rejected or you have been hired or whatever stage you're putting. So at every stage of the application, the HR doesn't have to manually inform them. An automated email is going to the candidate, with a very generic statements and not saying anything controversial. So this is how the job applications and all of this happens. Now, all of the stages that you can see on this particular page, this is also completely customizable from the setting itself. So inside, just give me a second. Smooth. Yeah, inside settings, there will be a place where we will be able to set up that for our recruit module, who are all the job application status are what. So these are all the by default status. You can name them and you can customize them as per your organizational process. So that is pretty much what the recruit module does. Once the recruitment is done and you like all the applications, just give me a second. All the applications are here, and when you hire someone, after that you can also send offer letter from the portal itself. The offer letter module is also quite simple. You just have to click on this thing and then say for which role, which applicant is selected, and then you mention the salary, say if you want them to sign in this online or not, and all of that, and the offer letter goes out. Now, the moment the offer letter goes out, they will be intimated with saying something like this, that hi, here is the offer letter and the subject of the email and all of that. And they can literally click on this offer letter and sign online on the platform itself without logging in or anything. So that's how the recruit and the offer goes out. Just one thing. Okay. One more thing, when the job application, right now we only have 4 applications. Now, in a practical scenario, there will be 100 of application, 200 or 500 data. In that time, instead of the list view, the view that I use in our HRMS would be the board view. And here you can see that in applied, say there are 2 people, and we can literally drag and drop from applied to screen interview and all of that. And on top of it, all of the counts will be shown so that you know that how many people are in which stage and for which job application. Typically, it will be for all. You can also select data for one particular role. So that is pretty much how the recruit module works. Now I'm just going to go to the next module, which is the employee records and management. So once someone has accepted the offer letter, it will be coming like this, that this person has accepted. The moment they sign and accept it digitally, it will be here. And then you can create employee, make them into an employee after accepting the offer letter by clicking here and then filling some details. Or you can also do it by going to employees and adding the employee manually from here literally. And then there is another way of adding employees by inviting them either by email or either by a link. So these are some of the ways how you can add an employee, and the employee fields that you can see, including all the field, like including their date of birth, when they're joining, designation and whatnot, everything can be customized as well within the system itself. So under settings, all the employee fields is customizable. So that's how the employee records are getting created. After the employees are in the system, now they will be doing their attendance and then also applying for leave. There are multiple ways to mark attendance. We do have biometrics integration as well, but there are other easier way as well. Instead of biometrics, one can also do a clock in and clock out, and there from the dashboard itself, and that will be marking their attendance. Apart from that, there are a few other ways of marking attendance. Show it from here. So if I go to attendance setting, employees can also mark attendance by just scanning a QR code. They can also mark attendance by just first time they're signing on PeopleHub, first time they open the PeopleHub in their system, that times gets recorded as their login time. We can also do clocking based on IP addresses. If there is only office-based employee and we have a IP address for our office, we can also restrict the IP addresses. We can also restrict the radius within which they can clock in and all of that. So there are multiple ways of marking attendance. And after attendance, okay, so that is one. And the logout can also be done, clock off can be done by the employees manually every day, or the system can log them off after say 6 p.m., which is your office end. So it can log everyone off automatically as well, or it can be manually done as well, whatever the suits the organization. After the attendance, now the leave module, first thing that one has to do as an admin, you have to first set up the leaves, right? So the leaves can be a monthly or a yearly type. And you can also say, if it's a yearly leave, you can say maybe number of leaves are 24, but in a month, we only allow 2 leaves per month. So we can set these type of constant. Then you can say for the entitlement, is it allowed in provision? Is it allowed in notice period? is it only allowed after the provision is, which is 90 days or maybe 20 days after provision and all of that. So all of these entitlement option, and will it be carry forward, lapse or paid? So these entitlement options are also there. And in terms of applicability, you can decide if it's a paternity or maternity leave, it's only for males or it's only for females. Then you can also decide for one particular department, there's an additional leave and all of that. So once you set this as per your leave policy, then one will go to the leaves and apply for leave. As an admin, because I'm logged in as an admin, I can see the leave for everyone. For example, for Piali, she's a probationary employee, she doesn't have any leave balance. So we can't really apply for a leave. But for Shruti, we will be able to see there are these many leaves. Now, if Shruti is logging from her profile, she won't be able to see everyone else's leave balances like this, or will be able to. She will only be able to apply for the leave balances she have for herself. Now, once this leave is applied, there will be an automatic email that is going, and then the leave can be either approved, rejected, and the leave that hasn't been approved or rejected will be showing as pending and can be approved or rejected. So that is pretty much what the leave module does, attendance and leave module. Just one second. Okay. Now I'm going to move to the performance one, right? So the performance module in PeopleHub is objective and key result based. I know that there are many different performance, many different ways people measure performance. Objective and key result as one of the way, but in PeopleHub, we have that in terms of objective and key results. Let me show you how that happens. So for any individual person or for any department, you can decide for a particular objective, which can be like communication or it can be as simple as that or as complex as you want it to be. And then you have decide what are the key results between this. And every time you check in, you can say that we want the person to reach the value 10. Now they're in 0. Now, every time you check in, you can just say that right now they are maybe doing 2 times out of 10 times, right? So the performance module in PeopleHub is completely based on objective and key result, and then individual check-ins that happens with the managers. So that is pretty much how the performance module works. Okay, now let me go over payroll and payslip. From the admin panel, one has to first decide the payroll pay structure. So, for example, what is the house rent allowance, which is what percentage of the basic is the house rent allowance, what's the conveyance allowance. Any element that you have of your payroll, you have to first define it on the payroll settings. And once that is defined, one can go to payroll and employee salary and define that for this particular employee, the salary is what. Now, if it's a new employee, it will show like a plus sign that please add the salary. Once you add the salary, the payroll would be now generated on a monthly basis from this particular payroll section. In the demo right now, we have already defined salaries for all of them. Now, once the salaries are already defined in the employee salary section, every month the HR has to just come to here. Say you want to include expense claims on this payroll itself or not, and then select all of the people and generate payroll. Once you generate the payroll, it will be showing generated, and then the same can be then exported and sent to the accounts for payments. Once the payment is done, you can mark it as paid, that on this particular day, this person was paid, and as soon as it is paid, the payslip will be automatically sent to the employees. It is not paying the employees. It is just generating the payroll. After that, the Excel can be sent to the HR or a finance team for the processing. So, okay. That was about payroll, and payroll and expenses are a little bit interlinked, because in the payroll section as well, you have the option if you want to include the expense claim that the employee has raised. So let me show the expense claim and how that works. Under finance, there are many options for the HR, right? But for the employees, they will only see expenses. So if I'm logged in as an employee, I'll only have expenses, and I'll be able to request an expense claim for any of the category that the admin adds, right? So once you apply for the expense claim, the mail intimation will be going, and then that can be approved. And once it is approved, then it can also be added to the payroll. It's quite straightforward expense approval process. Now, apart from all of these, we can also see some module which might not be as relevant for the NGO space, like leads, clients, and stuff like that. We wanted this application to be able to cater for both NGO and small and medium scale business use cases. But we don't want people to also have cluttered on the menu, including the admin. So for that, any module that you think that is not useful for you, you can go to the module settings and just turn them off. So for admin, all of these modules are showing. The moment I'm just going to turn off lead, so here we can see leads. The moment I am turning off lead, the leads module will be gone from here. So you can literally see or use the ones that are relevant for you and ignore the rest and turn it on and off just like a button, right? That is, just give me 1 second now. After that, there is procurement and vendors and POs, just like procurement, any procurement module will have. So we also have a purchase module here. Just give me 1 second. Under purchase, you can add vendors, you can add purchase order, bills and vendor payments and all of that. So that is another module. I'm not going into details because it might and might not be relevant for everyone. Then there are modules like invoicing, task and project management, lead and client management, support ticketing system. These all modules might not be relevant for everyone. And again, just feel free to enable and disable from the portal itself as the admin. Now, there are two things that I think will be useful for NGO space, which is knowledge management and asset management. I'll just show that in a little bit. Just 1 second. Okay, so in terms of knowledge management, just in the knowledge base section of this portal, you will be able to add categories of knowledges. So right now we only have created 2 categories, policies and training. We can add another categories, as many categories that we want. And inside each category, like for example, under policy, we have just put a holiday list. You can have 10 different records or 10 different files that you want to upload here. Similarly for training, and you can create these categories and add these knowledge bases or the articles inside this as many as you want. So that this is how the knowledge base inside the HRMS works. And the last but not the least, the one last thing that I would like to show here is the asset management. Here we can see there's a Redmi smartphone which is lent to Shruti, and there's a laptop which is still available. So here you can record all the assets that you have for the company, and you can also record who is it being used by and all of that. It's pretty much as good as an Excel. It's not automated or anything, but it does the job of recording and having everything in one place. So that was about everything. Now, I have also seen in our conversation with NGOs and also smaller organization and for-profit organization, every time people are looking for an HRMS, they also do a very holistic comparison. They at least try to do a comparison between different platforms available. So I have also done that same in order to help organizations and HR leaders understand that when you are comparing different HRMS, how what is the framework can look like, and in the process, I have also done the comparison myself. So I'm just going to present this particular screen, and this is the last bit. Just give me 1 second. So first thing first, whenever there is any comparison that you're doing in between multiple applications, I would like to just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to get to the pen. Yeah, this here. So first thing first, whenever an HRMS, you are comparing different HRMS, first thing that one should do, first you should define the number of users that you want to compare by. If this is not fixed initially, then some HRMS are doing a per user pricing. Some are doing for 30 people, 50 people. So my suggestion would be, if you're a 30 people organization, at least you take 30 plus 10, which is maybe 40 people maximum while you're doing the comparison. Because if that is not fixed, then a comparison will not be valid, first of all, because you will not be able to understand the pricing for the platform. After you know that how many users you're comparing it for, then you would be doing all the features that you need. For example, right now I have employee database, leave and attendance, letters, performance management, mobile app, payroll. So out of the 14 features that I have listed here, maybe you are looking out for only 5 or 6 features. List the features like this and decide which platform has it and which platform doesn't have it. And UI UX should also be considered as one of the features, because that also makes a difference. So the features, UI UX, and the pricing for all the 20 users. So I think the comparison is now between the pricing, the score on the feature, that how many feature the platform has versus how many you want, and then the implementation cost. So each of the organization will have its own implementation cost as well, based on the number of users that you are doing. So this is like a basic framework that I have been using to compare HRMS, and the reason that I felt like we can do what better than what is already available. Just 1 second, I'm just trying to get my Yeah, it is all of this. So this is kind of a basic framework, and the reason that I have only compared between all of these platforms and not just one second, not Darwinbox, because Darwinbox is mostly useful for if you have 500 to 1,000. Their enterprise level HRMS, the costing and the complexity of the Darwinbox system is quite heavy for any NGO or a smaller organization to use. But these are comparatively easy to use, user friendly for any organization between anywhere between 20 to 200 or 300 employees. So this is what I do typically when I'm comparing between platforms. The next thing would be like, now once you have done this comparison, then you have like comparison between what is the price for the users, how many features is it able to cover, and then you know like the cost per feature kind of a thing. So these are the two screens I look at in order to kind of like, and again, for any organization it would be different. You might not want to see all on all the 14 features how many one has. You might only want to see out of the 5 we need how many each platform has. So this is kind of how I would go about comparing it, and this is to give a framework. Just let me know in the chat if anyone would like to have this. I am happy to share this Excel at the end of the call or as a link on this call as well. If people would like to get this Excel or the PPT that I have on the screen, then just give me 1 second. I'm just going to switch my screen. Okay, now let me, and last but not the least, I would like to talk about the pricing we have. So our pricing structure for PeopleHub is very flat, which is for 20 employees, 2,000 per month. For 30 employees, is 3,000 a month. And for 50 employees, it's 5,000 a month. And unlike other HRMS, I think the way I'm trying to differentiate from the others, all the features are included in all the plans. Because I know that in HRMS, whenever you're trying to decide, there are so many fine prints that one has to read. But our plans are completely based on the number of employees that you're looking for, and everything that you have seen is everything that comes within the application is included in all the plans. So it's a very kind of per employee based costing, not on features. That was about PeopleHub and the comparison. Now I'm just going to stop sharing, and I'm happy to answer any question that anyone might have.
There is a question on chat.
Sure, let me have a look.
Can this HRMS be integrated into the existing process of an organization?
Okay, so all the HRMS are actually built in a way so that you can set up your processes, whatever process you follow in the system itself. So it would be an yes, but if you have an existing HRMS or another technical system, then the feasibilities has to be seen. But if you just have policies and processes that you're following, HRMS like PeopleHub should be able to integrate that process in the system. Yes, Rekha, please let me know.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Piali. It was good to hear about all that package. But I just want to know, here in our organization, many of our team members are working in a rural area or the remote area where network connectivity is very poor. Often, it's not poor often, it's poor. So, which makes real-time attendance marking is very little bit difficult. So, is there in this system, how the system addresses such challenges? And is there any offline attendance features or workaround available?
So the attendance module that we have, the clocking and all the processes are literally online, and it doesn't take that much bandwidth. But even if that is a problem, the admin or the HR of the organization can mark attendance manually for everyone as well. If there is no way for them to doing it on a daily basis, just opening it on mobile or clock in, or just opening the app, the HR or the admin can do it manually later if they have the information with them, but no other way. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just add to what Piali is saying. There is an offline feature which can be, I mean, not in all the product, but there's an offline feature which can be built, which we had tried in the previous organization where I was working. So in offline feature, you don't need network. Mostly there's a GPS base. The moment you suppose I'm in a rural school and I'm not able to do, I keep marking my attendance based on whatever time it is there. So it takes system clock time and does it. The moment you come into network, maybe after a week or so, it automatically synchronizes from a backend. So you will not have a real time data, but it definitely is possible. If your need is large, you can build a small module over top of it, which is an offline.
Yeah, exactly. That is what I just wanted to ask. Thank you so much, Lakshman. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, yes, Ashwin.
Yeah, Piyali, for the HR, for the recruitment module, my question is that if a candidate wants to apply for a particular job, do they need to create an account or can they do it without doing so?
So they do not need to apply for a job. We do not need to create an account or anything. They just have to click on apply and fill the details that they have.
Okay.
There we are asking for name, email, CV, and whatnot.
Okay, thanks.
As mentioned by Piali, she can share the comparison screen which she showed. So if anybody wants it, please reach out to us. We will get it from Piali and happy to share it with the team. Great, thank you so much. Does anybody have any more questions? I think it's Ashwini's hands raised, which we saw. Yeah, so otherwise, thank you, Piali, again. Once again, it was great to listen into your presentation. So I will now